Hello, I'm Natalie Glasson from the OmNa Sanctuary. And we are beginning another journey. We're on the road again. And this is my husband, Nick. We're driving to Wales. And again, we have our children with us. 14-month-old, a 4-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And we've decided to go to Wales. When we were driving to Scotland, one of the OmNa family emailed me and said about a school that they thought would interest us, and I was interested. So I looked into it, and now we are actually driving to Wales to see this school. We're going to do a visit, and it's interesting because the OmNa Sanctuary, when I created it and when I changed it from the OmNa School to the OmNa Sanctuary, it was all about family and connections, and it put my family at the center of the OmNa School, and it meant that everything I do within the OmNa Sanctuary has to benefit my family as well, to support them and to nurture them and to allow me to be with them as well. So anything that took me away from them just didn't work. And it also centers around us as an OmNa family. So everyone that follows me, everyone that listens to the channelings, I feel that we were all connected during the time of Atlantis. And when the OmNa Temple was in existence in Atlantis, we were all connected, and I made a contract to come back in this lifetime and to create the temple again and to fulfill that contract as well, supporting everyone in their spiritual evolution. So everyone who listens to my channelings, I believe they are family. It's an OmNa family. There is a connection there that's not just in this lifetime, but is in all lifetimes. So that's at the very foundations of the OmNa Sanctuary. So when we went to Scotland, we were looking for a property for land for the temple, and to be honest, we found it. It was absolutely perfect for the temple, but it didn't work for our family. So now it feels like we're going in another direction, and we're actually seeking something that is appropriate for our family. And if this turns out that it's meant to be, then we will be finding a place close to the school, and a home and a space for the sanctuary, for the temple. So I suppose in some ways, maybe putting family first, we're actually bringing ourselves to the place where the temple is meant to be anchored and meant to be built. So we're just going in a different pathway, a different approach this time, and seeing what happens, seeing how we feel about it. We had a very strong sense last time in Scotland of the land, of the area, and everything. So we're going to see if it's the same this time. And I'm Welsh. I was born in Wales, so it's lovely to go back home. And I have lots and lots of fond memories from living in Wales, especially the beaches and the sea as well. So yes, we're we will take you with us on this journey and see what manifests.
And it's the big area as well.
So as you can see, we drove down to Wales, and we stayed in a lovely cottage on a small holding, which I chose because it had lots of animals, and I thought it'd be lovely for the children to just interact with the animals, and it had a lovely stream as well, so they were playing in the river. And so yeah, it was really, really lovely.
Yeah. Well done.
We went to visit the school as well, and I actually didn't take any more videos after we arrived in Wales because it was such a confusing time, and I didn't feel it just didn't feel right to take a video, and even to share how I was feeling. It just felt that it was not appropriate, and I really didn't even know what I would say. We felt really nervous going to see the school because it felt like it was something that could change our lives tremendously. You know, if we really liked the school and then we decided that it was for us, then we would be uprooting our entire existence. And finding a place around the school, finding a place for the temple, our home, and also my husband Nick, he would have to restart his chiropractic clinic from scratch, and it felt big. We know that that's what we want to do, but you know, we were facing the reality that it might come, and it just felt quite scary and quite confusing. And we were speaking with, there was a lady who we met, and she had a small holding, and she was just basically saying how tough it was, how hard it was, and although she didn't regret moving and having so much land, it was a really tough thing on her and her family. So it kind of put a bit of a downer on it slightly, because obviously we want more land, but she wasn't really using her land for anything. She just had land, and she was maintaining it, whereas we would be using it to build the temple and you know, to create a sanctuary that people could visit and you know, use and take part in. So and then we had so just going backwards slightly, on our way to Scotland, I had a lovely email from a gentleman in the OmNa family, someone who used to come to my workshops in London, and a very sweet and loving soul, and inviting us to come and view his property. And he had also built a temple. And so we went along to visit, and it was such a magical place. Views of the mountains, and just so beautiful in nature. And the temple that he had built was also had such a high energy. It was really beautiful. But it was, what was very interesting for us was the knowledge that this gentleman had about eco building, about, about the land, about the soil, about preparing the land, like increasing the vibration of the land. And it made us realize that yes, we are looking for a sacred place, a land that feels very sacred, like a sanctuary, very peaceful in many ways, like we experienced in Scotland. However, we can create that. So if we have land that maybe is simply land, it doesn't have that, magical, peaceful feelings, then there are ways that we can create the vibration that is appropriate. And I was reminded that the OmNa Temple from the inner planes would be anchored. So it actually doesn't necessarily mean that we have to find this most sacred place, because the sacred energies would be anchored and connected to Mother Earth once more, and that would create the sanctuary. So it was a reminder, a very powerful reminder. And also when you're in nature of any kind, it is magical as well. So thank you to that member of the OmNa family. You had a profound impact upon us, and we greatly appreciate your time and inviting us to connect with you. So thank you. And we continue to visit the school. So the next day, as I said, we were nervous. We went to visit the school. And it was a lot to take in. And when we got back to the car, it was interesting because the children were dysregulated, and I was just like kind of feeling a real load on me of information, like an information download. And my husband said to me, "What did you think?" And I was literally like I can't even think. I can't even speak. I don't know what I thought. It's, it was just overwhelming, and just so much information. And while I had this understanding that I did like it, it was just too much. The pressure of everything. It was like, I can't cope with it. It's too much. And so we actually sat in silence for a bit while we were driving back home, and gradually we were able to kind of come out of that space, and especially with eating, drinking, and then we could just gradually talk about it more. And even I recognize, even to this, we're a couple of days on since we visited, and we're finding it challenging to talk about it, my husband and I, because it's scary. I think it is a school where we do have to pay fees, and so that in itself is quite overwhelming as well. Whether we can actually, whether we can make it work or not. I think for us the challenging part is that my husband has a successful chiropractic clinic. He's also a healer, so he's been studying with Barbara Brennan school, and he's finishing in May. He's done 4 years. Even before that, he's just a tremendous healer. Whenever anything is kind of upset in my body, he's just able to kind of just bring me back through his healing. And so he's an incredible healer. And so he's finishing his healing course in May, and obviously it will be a time of transition for him as he becomes a healer and a chiropractor. But if we move to a different location, then he would have to start all over again. And that would be challenging, I think. We're recognizing that that could be challenging, especially financially as well. So what we came out of it with was this feeling confused, feeling scared. And also what I do when I'm confused and scared is I freeze. I know that of myself. I freeze and I just go, okay, we're just going to stay here frozen and see what happens. And, maybe this will all pass us by, or maybe something will come into fruition. So I was just channeling the Andromedan, the Andromedan alignment. While I was channeling the Andromedans, I had an insight. And so the Andromedans, if you haven't already listened to the channeling, the Andromedans share how one thought is so powerful in our reality. It's so impactful. It creates stories and weaves all different things into our reality for us to physically experience. So we then recognize that we have so many thoughts in our being, and all of these thoughts are doing the same thing. They're creating stories and experiences and weaving into our reality and creating the reality that we really physically experience. And so one thing I recognized while I was channeling that was I've been saying to myself, I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I can't make a decision right now. I'm so confused. That's all I keep telling myself. And it felt real. I did feel confused because obviously I was telling myself that I was confused. And with the Andromedan's energy, I was like, oh, okay, so that's a thought that I'm repeating to myself. And then maybe it's not necessarily anchoring into my reality, but it's definitely impacting my senses, my abilities to think, and, my abilities to make decisions and to feel and acknowledge what is right within me. So, and the Andromedans share about putting the thought in a bubble of love or an energy of love, and allowing it to transform into another statement, and allowing it to transform into, and for me, it manifested, I'm the embodiment of clarity. So I'm confused became I'm the embodiment of clarity. And that shifts something. And so rather than walking around going, I'm confused, and not accepting the responsibility of working things out, of problem solving, of asking for support and calling in the beings, and so now I am the embodiment of clarity manifests in replacement of I'm confused, and it creates an impact, which is what the Andromedans said. And so that's only a recent thing, so I'm not seeing the impact yet, but I know that it's working. It feels like a shift, and it's just amazing because I'm seeing these thoughts, like the Andromedans say, I'm seeing these thoughts coming up. There was another one that I had in the shower. I can't afford my dream house, and I can't afford the place for the temple. So, so again, I put that into the love and transformed it. And, so these thoughts are coming up. And another one, which was interesting, was it's not safe for us to move house. Imagine we're trying to move house and we have this belief it's not safe to move house. It's not going to happen, is it? It's just not going to happen if we have that. So it is safe for us to move house and to change our reality drastically. And it feels like it's an alignment, and we're shifting our energy so that we as a family, especially my children as well, can be more aligned and more connected to the Creator and more spiritual. And because we tend to get bogged down in all the physical stuff, and so it would be lovely to create that space with them as well. So there's been lots of insights, and yeah, and we're working through those insights, and it feels like for the moment, I was trying to think yesterday, what's the next stage? What's the next stage? And I've had loads of people emailing to offer advice and guidance, and it's so beneficial. So thank you for the emails and the advice and the support and the encouragement. It is amazing. Thank you so much. And I was feeling that the next step for us is actually to just put our house on the market and see what happens from there. And we've already taken the steps to do that. So we're having an evaluation, I think in a couple of weeks' time. Gives us a chance to do a few things around the house. And I feel, and my husband feels as well, once the house is on the market, that the universe will be able to work its magic, and then the right property will manifest for us. And yeah, and I think that's where we are right now. But I'm really working on myself, and my husband is as well, especially with our thoughts and how we're creating our reality, and really creating the reality that serves us. So maybe you're trying to manifest something too. I'd love to hear about it in the comments and how it's going. And if what I'm sharing is supporting you, let me know. That would be great. I'd love to hear. And yes, the adventure will continue, and I'll keep you updated. Until next time, my love is with you always. Bye.